Hey guys, 4th of July just ended. It is now the 7th, but I recently purchased something for the show that I did this year, and I had to do a review of it because it was a game changer for me. I'm not a professional or anything, but I love to synchronize the fireworks with music because if you're going to shoot a bunch of fireworks, might as well add music to it. The music part is technically free, so makes it feel a lot more. But I've always used like some type of system, but it's always been like a manual push button, and I found those automated systems can be thousands of dollars. But I found this thing, Ignite i18, so there's 18 Qs in it, and this thing right here is phenomenal. So if you're already thinking about your 2024 show, I highly recommend saving up for it. It is not cheap at all. At first I was leery of buying it because I didn't want to shed out the $200 for it, and depending on where you get the fuses, it's anywhere from $7 or $8 to $20 for a set of 20 fuses. So I was a little leery, but I was like, I'll give it a shot because I'd like to, watch my own fireworks, and it makes it a little bit safer because I can kind of watch it a little bit more. So let me kind of do an unboxing of this and show you how easy this is. Again, if I didn't say, this allows you to synchronize your fireworks to music extremely easy, and this is by the Cobra system. So the Cobra system that's what you use. So let me kind of show you what's in it. Okay, so once when you take the box off, you'll get all these letters and nice sticker. I'm a sucker for all the stickers. It gives you plenty of options on where to download your software, all that good stuff. And then the most important part is you get your system, your antenna, and then you get a charger right here. I haven't used it yet because it came charged enough for my first show, but there's your charger. And then also, I really like this. They really thought about this. If your battery dies and you're in a pinch, you got an emergency one, so you can hook your 9-volt battery to run your system. This thing's pretty nice. It's plastic, so nothing too fancy, but good enough to, I had this thing surrounded with cakes, and it took a beating. There was, like dust all over it, and I cleaned it up as good as I could for right now, but this was in the midst of a bunch of fire, and it did great. Now let me kind of show you the software side and what that looks like, and then once we do the software, I'll try to add the show of what I did as well. Okay, so this is the designer through the website. One thing I should mention is you can't do the designer on your phone. You only can do it through your computer. You might be able to do it through an iPad. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm using my desktop. And it's pretty simple. All you have to do is at the bottom here, you put in your song that you want. So this one is Breath of the Wild by Zelda. I did the Zelda theme this year. And then we'll go over what all this means. So your event time, that's the time you want the firework to go off. This can be two things. You can either treat this as when it lights the fuse or when you would want it to actually go off. If you have it to where you want this to go off, so like say this second one is I want the first bang to be at 17 seconds, and I know that this firework, Pirate Invasions, is going to take about 6 seconds for the fuse to go off. So I do 17 and then 6 here just so I can visually see it at the bottom. If you look at the bottom, you can see a short line and then a thick line. That's just to help you visualize it. You don't have to have the duration or the igniter pre-fire if you don't want to. If you just want it to hit fire and light it, and that's all you're wanting, then just tell it right here what you want. You don't even have to have the name. This is just for you to see it. So like this Pirates Invasion, as you can see, it's 28 seconds, but if I was to put it at 0, you're just going to see that tick, and then you'll see the 6-second. But if I take the 6-second off, then you'll see it's just a tick. That's it. But for my show, I did not want it like that, so we didn't do that. Let's see what else here. On the color cue, what this is actually meaning is you can have more than one of the cues. So like this one, when I turn it on, before I turn it on, I don't like to turn my stuff on without the antenna attached, but when I turn this one on, you can see it I can't speak, but it shows the color blue because on my cell phone I told this one to be blue. But you know, you've got other colors: red, yellow, green, teal, pink, so you've got plenty to choose from. And so what this does is it lets you be pretty much as customizable as you want. So like if I wanted channel 1 to be this one, but I wanted the next one, say it was 6 feet away, or more than 6 feet because the fuses are about 6 feet, but let's just say it's 7 feet, so it's just barely too far, and you had another system, you know, you can do that and then change it to Q1 if you want, and keep track of it like that. I like to fill it all out just so I know and get a good habit of doing that, and I'll show you the reason why. The one thing I like about this software that a lot of places, even when you have free, like the free simulating software, it's kind of hard to find those, you got to pay a lot extra for the reports and pricing and all that. But here, it seems kind of steep at first because you're paying that $200 for the system, but I think that $200 is also going, this software on here, I'm not paying anything. It's free. And so like I can have reports. So I can print off the cue labels, which is outstanding, and customize them exactly how I want them. You know, you can do your module reports, which is outstanding. Cue reports, which is amazing. Product list, which is really important as well. It's when you're doing like a backyard show with just regular fireworks, you really don't have to deal with these a whole lot. Sorry. Whew. I guess I need more sleep. But if you're doing a professional show with 1.3 or where you have a licensed show, you got to log everything. What fireworks you're using, when they go off, things like that. So that report it's a saver. I mean, it's great. And then once when you have your song in, you just add your cues in. It's pretty simple. I'll add a cue in for you here. So say I'm listening to the song, blah blah blah, and I wanted one right here. I can do add time, name the firework if you want, and then really hone it in. If I wanted exactly 46, tell it the color, and it'll put it in the next channel that, you know, so if you add one, just remember you've got to change up all your numbers or keep it like this if you like it like this. I like to keep mine in order. And if this one was just sitting in the wrong space, then, you know, you could do 130. Oops. 30 with a 1. One of these days I'll get it right. So there, it puts it in right there. And then it'll also let you know if you've made a mistake. So like, say this device, you need goodness, I'm so sorry. You need 2 seconds apart from each cue. It just wants that to be completely safe. So that's another important thing to consider when you're doing shows. So if you need something that's less than 2 seconds apart, then you need to get 2 of these and have them going 1 second at a time, just so that alleviates that. But since I only have 1, I can only do 1 shot at every 2 seconds, and it'll tell you. So if I was to put this at 21, oh man, if I could type, I mean, it automatically told me it was out of bounds. So yada yada. Right now it won't tell me, but if I do the 6 seconds, then it'll say, hey, you've got some problems here. So what I've done to fix a lot of that is the fireworks Skedaddle and Supersonic. They were originally going to be 1 second apart, but since 1 second's not that bad, I just put them on the same channel, or I just fused them together with the fuse just going 1 second later to the next one. So then everything is on, it's 2 cakes on one thing. You should know how to do that, especially if you're doing this. But if not, that's okay. We'll go ahead and get rid of this one though, because we don't need it. And I want to try to keep this as good as possible. Alright. I'm trying to think of other things. You don't have to have the name. You don't have to have the duration. I just do that so it shows the line, so I know when fireworks are crossing over, or like, you know, I want some of the beginning of this one to be with the end of this one to give that effect. The igniter, I have these at 6 seconds because it takes roughly, in the average of everything that I tested so far, it was roughly with like under the tent firework cakes, it was either from 4 seconds to 8 seconds. So I just kind of did an average of 6, and so I was playing it a little bit safe. If you're working with professional fireworks, you technically don't have to do that, or not that long, because it does seem kind of long, but you'd be shocked when you light a fuse and you start counting. You're like, oh wow, it is 6 to 8 seconds. And I guess the next really important thing that kind of took me off guard there for a little bit, because I only had 2 days to use this and figure it out. And when I thought I had everything finished here, and the day of, I sent the software, or sent the song to my phone, I was like, oh no, it's messed up. Because if you do have the 6 seconds here with the 17 seconds of when you want the firework, your phone doesn't show 17 seconds with the 6 second light fuse before. It just shows you when it lights the fuse. So if you have it here as you want the firework to go off at 17 seconds and you have it at 6 seconds, it'll actually show 11 seconds on your phone. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Your phone's just going to show you when it's lighting the fuse. So I was like scrambling back and forth, because I was like, oh, I got to redo this because it's showing it completely wrong. And then when I came back to the computer, I was like, I had an aha moment of, okay, it's hopefully, and it was. It just, I don't know why it does that, but that's okay. But yeah, there's that. There's nothing really behind the camera. Whoop, not that one. Let's see. Let me. Behind my camera is just the volume, and so there's not really much to see behind me if you're curious about that. yeah, so that's about it on that. Um, so another thing I like is every time you add something, it automatically saves to the queue. The only downfall to that option is when you do make a change, it automatically, when you open the app back up with your phone will automatically try to sync to it. It'll ask you, and so you say yes. So if you're playing around and you've already finished this show and you know you're going to do it later tonight, play around on something else, because whatever you do to this, it, even if you have it already saved on your phone, it could potentially rewrite over it and sync it to what you're playing around with, which would be not so cool. So that's a big tip right there. But you know, you can make as many shows as you want. Showed you the reports. The reports are great. So now, I'm so sorry. Let me show you this one. I'll actually show you two songs. So this one is Breath of the Wild. The other one I did, because I only could do two songs because I only had 18 fuses. So I just did two of them. The other show was Tears of the Kingdom. And that's what that one looks like. So it had a little bit more. And as you can see here, the duration, I was trying to hurry up. So you don't have to put in the duration. That just helps you see it. I already knew exactly where these were going to be. And like this just is meaning I had two fused together again. But yeah, let me show you. I'll show you Breath of the Wild, and then right after that, I'll do Tears of the Kingdom, and hopefully YouTube won't send a copyright on me or anything. But yeah, let's take a look at those. Really?
I know why I am here. It's something only I can do.